Gomez from AA, and today I'm going to present you population growth experiment. Introduction. The populations are those groups of individuals of the same species that form part of all the entire world, and that are directly responsible of all the well or not function of the ecosystems. Some examples of that populations are population of birds, fishes, cats, dogs, humans, etc. All populations are in the world to carry out a specific and only one a specific job. Job in the environment, and more specific in the nature, to maintain a balance and a good controlled nature. We have to have into account that through the years the species and the population tend to grow and to evolve. So as Roser, Richie, Ortiz 2019 says and explains, rapid population growth has been a temporary phenomenon in many countries. Page 1. Based on the last information, my hypothesis said, if the populations are controlled by the nature on growth and reproduction, they are going to be stable on death and birth rates, and any species are going to be in danger of extinction, and the ecological environment is going to be stable, and the nature life is going to be more efficient and durable. Ideas and methods. The teacher asked us to have a board chess. The board chess has to have 64 squares, and all of the squares have to have 4 by 4 centimeters. So we have to have 10 beans that was going to represent us initial population size, the first initial population size for the first generation, and we had to throw it in the chest with a plastic cup in 15 centimeter height. The beans that get in the dark square are deaths and represent the death population, and the beans that get in the white squares are the survivors, and that we needed to multiply it by 2, and that represent the births of the population. That we needed to do 10 times as represented 10 generations, and then with all that information we need to put it in a chart, and with all that data analyze it and have the final result of the experiment. Materials and methods of the second activity, we needed to enter to a link that was in the experience number 4 workshop, and in that link there was a simulator of 2 populations, red and blue. In that populations we need to put it some information like initial population size, current capacity, all that, and based of that the system shows us some final results of growing capacity and all that, and about that based on that information we need to analyze that information, answer our questions, and that goes to have us the final results of that experiment. Here we have the results, the chart of the informations and the data of the graph of the first experiment. Here we can look the generations, the different data, and we have the results in a graphic line. Okay, results and discussion. In the chart of the first experiment, we can see that when is a balance between the deaths and the birth rates, in relation with the population size, the changes of the incrementation of the curves are not much different, and we can see that the curves maintain a controlled numbers and growths, controlled deaths and birth growths, and that shows us a balanced environment and a balanced population. Also, we can notice that the population growth is controlled by the same individuals of the same populations as it happens in real population in the nature and in many habits. As Gravianowski 2007 says, humans are also capable of voluntarily controlling their own populations, that we can in page 1. That is what happens in many cases in the real life, as I already said. Here we have the results of the second analysis. We have here the population growth rate and the population size of the simulator. In this chart, we can see the population was different in terms, has some difference in terms of growth and of the growth of the population, but we can show it that the population was stable, was not doing peaks or anything weird, and as the previous chart, they were not like much difference in the results. Conclusions. We can see that in both experiments, the curves and the data were stable and that were not high results, and neither low results, so that was stable in population sizes and in population growth and deaths. And that means that the populations maintain a normal and stable growth and death. So to conclude, so we can accept the hypothesis because all the populations in the two experiments were controlled and balanced in terms of death and births, and in a real ecosystem and ecological environments, any population were going to have to be in danger of anything will maintain the balance in ecosystem, and all is going to be in the limits permitted and all balanced and good for the ecosystem and for the nature. This is my reference where I take my information to do the presentation, and this is the end. Thank you for your attention, and I expected the presentation is likely.